Okay, we want to thank you all for coming out on this brisk day. It's a blessing that it ain't snow, but it is snowing in the black and brown community because we're being snowballed by people who are supposed to be activists helping us fix this cannabis regulation mess that we find ourselves in Illinois. We stopped protesting for a while because we met with the governor, and he said to us that he understood our plight because the first lottery, as you know, 1A, they had 21 groups out of 1,000. Only 21 qualified based on what KPMG and some of the state people who screwed it up did. We went to the governor, we gave him a letter, we asked for 75 more licenses. JB gave us 75 more licenses. We asked him to hold up the lottery. JB Pritzker held up the lottery. Then the governor said, I'm gonna do you one better. We're gonna make it where you don't even have to pay again. And all of us were saying, hallelujah. We poor black folks, poor Latinos, middle class, we don't have $100,000 just sit around. And then because of the pandemic, everything was delayed. So we had KPMG screwing us. We had pandemics slowing us down. And a governor who then said to us, all right, black and brown activists and advocates, you all sit down and work it out, and we'll do the deal. So we tried that. We sat down with other activists. We found out that they were greedy. And the color of greed is not white or black, it's green. These people are already in round one. They ain't got no damn business telling us what to do in round two. They already got 8 chances, 20 chances in round one. And we're saying, go ahead, let round one go forward. We don't like it, but go ahead. But I'll be damned if we let them come into round two, which is supposed to be for social equity applicants. They wrong. They greedy. Hogs get fat, pigs get slaughtered. We will not put up with it. Not just that, but then they went further and said, not only do we want to be in the next round, which is now called 1B, but even though we marched on white folks, saying that they were greedy with their 80 chances and 90 chances, they said, we got some black friends that got 150 chances, and we want them to have all 150 chances in the black and Latino lottery, the next round. We say, y'all gotta be crazy. It's wrong for the white man to do it, it's wrong for the black man to do it. You cannot say you got true social equity and diversity and mess over your own people. And I know people don't want us to air our dirty laundry in public, but sometimes you have to, because we're up against the deadline. Yes, sir. So we're saying to those people who are on, we won't even call their names because hopefully we can talk to them. But we handed out their own stationery, their plan. And notice one thing they keep saying all of them, all applications get to be checked. So we said, okay, go ahead with your 1A. Y'all go ahead with your screwed up 1B with the slave master clause in there where you promised to hire 6 blacks and you qualify. Go ahead with your bullshit where it's the veteran give you 51%, you got to give away your company. Go ahead. Everybody can be in 1A, everybody be in 1B. Sign your non-litigation letters and then do a real round, round 4. For true social equity applicants, where you must live within a disproportionately impacted area. You drew a map. Don't try to psych us talking about where the map is just where the stores go, the map of where the owners are supposed to live. Black people, no, we don't own no gas stations, no currency exchange, liquor store, we don't own nothing in our community. This is a business creation program, not a jobs creation program. And for any black group to stand up for the slave master clause, I wish Harriet Tubman would come back, bop them upside their head, and carry their black ass across the Mississippi. I'm going to bring up some people now that are applicants. You can hear their own story. This young man, CHAVIS, fought in the war for our people. They screwed him by 1 point. He'll tell you himself, it's wrong.
How you doing? My name is JERMELL. It's better than the United States Marine Corps. 8 proud years of service. 2 tours in Iraq. I just want to start by saying the entire process leading us up to this point has been flawed. They didn't even want to score our applications correctly along with our counterparts. But somehow, for some reason, I'm supposed to believe that out of 4,000 applications, 937 applicants, only 21 applicants can be scored correctly. You only can get it right 21 times.
That ain't right.
There are discrepancies in the scorecards in which I received from IDPFR versus what I received from KPMG. All show that I was only 1 point shy of the requirement to meet the perfect score. Now I'm expected, once I cure my deficiencies, to go into a lottery with somebody that has 151 chances. And that's supposed to be social equity. Because you were able to submit 30, 35, 75 applications. That's supposed to be social equity. I want to know what impoverished community that you came out of with the ability to put $500,000 towards just application fees. Writing the application within itself was a heavy financial burden, which me and my business partner showed to write one solid, dependable application because we had vision for one solid dispensary. Now you're telling me that the social equity program was supposed to represent social equity, all the standards of which I meet. Veteran of the United States Marine Corps, yes. Do I come from a disproportionate impact all of my life? Lifelong resident of the city of Chicago. Homegrown businesses. I sought no help from an MSO. I'm not politically connected. I'm not lobbying for anybody down in Springfield. I don't have anybody lobbying for me. I'm a disabled veteran. Hell, we barely have people lobbying for veterans as it is. Just look at the situation over at Jesse Brown that was occurring just 4 short years ago, where veterans couldn't even get their claims. But yet still we're supposed to put faith in the lottery process when the process that led us up to this point was flawed. It's egregious. It's egregious that I should have to once again depend on the lottery to get me out of poverty. This was one expensive lottery ticket. And for me to have to go up against someone, these big power guys, it shows I can do it. My application score is reflective of my ability to do this.
49.
To carry this business out. So my hopes, my aspirations, the vision that I have for my community, the economic value that this can bring to my community is hinged on a lottery. Far too long. This has been a way of the politics in the city of Chicago. When will it stop? When will we stand up and do what's right? When will the people that we elected to these positions, fight for us? We the people elected you, we put you there to help us. Not help yourselves, not help your family members, not help your comrades, but to help the people of the city of Chicago, the people that need it most, the people that you've identified in these DIAs.
Now, one thing he brought up that's in our bill that's not in the other quote-unquote black people's bill is after the disparity study, which will be finished in March. We've talked to Cannabis czar Toy Hutchinson, and we know it's going to show that black and Latino people own nothing. Then the state will have an additional 15 to 35 licenses that they could give to people who have scores like Brother Chavez. His score is 249. Wow. And nobody has ever got a perfect score in America. You tell me this brother who served, put his life on the line, and got a 249, when we get to that round after the disparity study, this is the kind of candidate that they should just give a license to and not have a lottery. This is also supposed to be for Illinois residents. We found out that some of these people are fighting for groups out of California and Florida who put in 150 licenses, 120 licenses, and we're saying it's supposed to be for Illinois residents, black, white, brown. We have a young lady from the Northside, Anna Rose Lee Epstein, who is a Chicago resident who put in an application. Her application should come before anybody from out of state. Anna Marie.
Thank you, Ricky. Hey, my name is Anna Rose Lee Epstein from Uptown. I like to say Uptown, not the North Side, because the North Side and Uptown are very different. I met Ricky about 5 months ago in front of KPMG with a few other people that I also met. We have been out here trying to talk to all y'all, trying to talk to the public, trying to educate what is going on, because it's really complicated, except it's not actually complicated because it's what Illinois does. And that's what I've been told a lot. I've been told, oh, you should have known that. That's what Illinois is known for being corrupt. And I said, yeah, but the governor said it wasn't going to be this way. The governor said it was going to be for black and brown communities to have generational wealth. And why is no one else calling him a liar but us? Because he is. We've been at his house, at his mansion twice now, and we will be back again multiple times, I'm sure, asking him to address this. The fact that the state of Illinois, excuse me because I get really angry and shaky and Ricky, you might have to cut me off.
Probably.
The fact that Illinois cannot get their shit together to have a Zoom meeting to deal with all of this bullshit is just proof, thank you Ricky, it's just proof that they don't want to deal with it. That they want to give exactly what the multiple monopoly corporations in different states that are currently in Illinois, they wanted a year by themselves with recreational sales, and that is exactly what they got. So, JB, the fact that you haven't addressed us for almost a year is disgusting. And so I'm going to suggest, as the almost only white person in this group, I'm going to smile and say, hi, JB, can you please do a freaking live question for the community where we can just ask you questions, you can address this bullshit, and then additionally, sorry, Ricky, I got some more things to say. Okay, so committees. We've been asking for committees, for a committee, a social equity committee, for months, for years, and that needs to happen. And that committee should help decide the true social equity groups.
Thank you.
Yeah, hey, Anna, ANNAROSEEP, I'm sorry, IIEPSTEIN. It's spelled EE, it's pronounced EE, it's spelled II.
And can we have the gentleman who spoke before, can we have him spell his name also?
Thank y'all.
JERMELLCHAV as in Victor IS.
Okay, we have a number of speakers, so we wanted to move it along. And as you can see, I am the reasonable one in the group. I'm the calm one in the group. This next family, Francisco Nunez and Eva Hernandez, are also applicants from the Latino community, and we want them to tell their story.
Okay, so I prepared a statement because just like everyone that has spoken before me, I'm very upset at the way this...
Just spell your name.
My name is Francisco Nunez, Francisco, last name Nunez, Nunez. My wife is Eva, Eva, Hernandez, Hernandez. So I prepared a statement because, just like the people that spoke before me, I'm very upset at this process. So here's my statement, okay? Like the gentleman before me, I am a combat veteran, Marine Corps. I was in Iraq and Afghanistan. My wife is an Army veteran who also served in Iraq, amongst other places. We are social equity applicants. I've lived in Little Village my entire life. I still live on the same block when I was a child, man. And I still shovel the snow for my neighbors. Just because I made it to where I am now, you know, shouldn't be, this should be an opportunity to give somebody in the community to know where we can invest, where we can bring value, where we can bring wealth to our community. I deviated a little bit from my statement, so now I'm going to sound a little bit like a robot, but just bear with me because I'm going to make some very important points here. So, we applied for the cannabis license last year, but we were wrongfully disqualified. Erroneously by the state's consultant that made a mistake. Our lawyer, Claudette Miller from Reyes Curson, filed a civil rights lawsuit and we were successful.
Right.
We were successful at least in getting a chance to correct our applications. How is that even possible? But it was possible. I want to say thank you to State Representative Jaime Andrade, and former Senator Iris Martinez, who is now the clerk of Cook County. We appreciate the governor directing the regulators to correct the consultant's mistake and to give my wife and me and all the other teams who were wrongfully disqualified the opportunity we deserve. Our struggle for equity and cannabis in the cannabis industry continues. I stand with these elected officials to continue to push for black and brown ownership of dispensaries and craft growers. Today we are here to support the efforts of the Black Caucus and Latino Caucus to bring diversity and inclusion into the industry. We are also calling for the General Assembly to require all licensed cannabis companies to publicly disclose whether their social equity participants have real ownership and control.
That's right.
Real ownership and control. Real ownership and control. Okay? We're asking, give us a seat at the table. Don't just use us for you to get to eat at the table. Okay, I'm sorry. And then the public should know that whether social equity applicants can be forced to sell their shares. That's another thing we got to look at. Right. Some of these contracts are saying that the social equity owners have to sell our shares within 2 years. We got to take a look at that.
Right.
And then, because at the end of the day, we want to know if these are real social equity companies or are they social equity fronts? Right. Are we, and you know, the big companies and connected insiders will not manipulate the system to stay in control of this market. The wealth from the booming cannabis industry needs to come back to the Black and Latino communities. That's where disproportionately where we were harmed. I remember when I was a child, we'd get arrested for a dime bag.
Right.
Wow. Public disclosure is essential to achieving the real social equity. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ricky.
Well put. Very well put. We also want to thank State Representative LaShawn Ford. And on the handout that we gave you, please make note that State Representative LaShawn Ford said he did not agree with the provisions outlined in their one-pager from their bill that they presented to the governor. We wanted to make sure that the Governor J.B. Pritzker knows that all the black groups do not agree with that. We are totally against the slave master clause. It has to come out now. We ain't waiting another day. Not another day. Let everybody you want to go into 1B, but we want a clean round for social equity applicants of 75 licenses in round 4, where you have to live within the district that is suffering the most, that has suffered the most from the war on drugs. We're hopeful that the governor will hear us. And we wanted the other activists and advocates to know we have community leaders also supporting our position. We have Brother T.O. Hardiman is here with us today. We wanted Brother T.O. Hardiman to say a few words, followed by Brother Tyrone Muhammad and Brother Eric Russell. And we were expecting Gator Bradley. Is Gator made it yet? We'll start with Tyrone. Gator's here? Oh, feel ready. Gentlemen.
My name is Tyrone Muhammad, Executive Director of Ex-Cons for Community and Social Change. That's Muhammad, M-U-H-A-M-M-A-D. The war on drugs I'm a veteran of the war on drugs. I'm a true social equity veteran on the war on drugs that these dispensaries use as justification to profit off of illegal dope selling. I remind you, those same dispensary, those houses of drug selling that was once deemed illegal in our communities are deemed legal now by a stroke of a pen. I'm a firm believer that J.B. Pritzker ran as a governor to make his cronies and rappies legal drug dealers while the war on drugs destroyed our communities. While the war on drugs created the avenue by which white men can remove $1 billion out of these communities, because when I sold weed, I sold it to white folks. Now white folks are lining up around the corner practicing discrimination and disenfranchisement and disinvestment of our communities by purchasing cannabis from these dispensaries in their current makeup of discrimination. You all, the media, you are here for a reason, and that's to highlight the ills, the issues, the disrespect, and the violations of our community. We at war, and we're going to declare war on dispensaries and state elected officials with the vote. We're going to declare war on our government right now to say across this country, banks don't even accept drug money. The banks don't even accept these dispensary money. Look it up, because it's not legal across the country. And we come in this thing already in violation of the community and the people. Anybody who support these dispensaries in their current makeup, white folks, black folks, brown folks, whoever, support discrimination when there's no black cannabis dispensaries available right now. And all summer long, we will be going to jail and even losing our lives if possible, because you can't justify locking us up, killing our men and women, and destroying our communities with the war on drugs, and then using the same money from the tax dollars on the war on drugs to continue to lock us up. It's unacceptable. You're going to see us at your door, your house door, your cannabis door all summer long and think we playing. Watch.
Tyrone Muhammad, ECCSC.
War veteran.
In our bill, we have made it clear that you cannot discriminate against an ex-felon from having any of these licenses. If you're going to let 500 to 600 black people out of jail, 150,000 Latinos out of jail for bogus cannabis convictions, you got to give them an opportunity to have a business and to eat. Other than that, they're just going to come back in our community with no hope, no opportunity, no chance. That is in our legislation, and it should stay. Brother T.O. Hardeman.
T.O. Hardeman, President of Violence and Weapons Incorporated. It's an honor to be here today. It's time for J.B. Pritzker to make an OG call and make social equity a reality here in the state of Illinois. He just signed the Criminal Justice Reform Bill. Now we need him to prioritize social equity in the cannabis industry in Illinois. $1 billion was made last year. It is totally unacceptable that you don't have one black-owned marijuana dispensary in Chicago, only one throughout the entire state of Illinois. Everybody that won higher level office ran on a platform that they were about social equity and inclusion. But that's not happening here with the recreational marijuana industry right now. What year are we in? 1950? Or are we in the year 2021? It makes no sense. If you want to get it right, I have a formula for you. Black folks should receive 30% of the licenses. Latinos should receive 30% of the licenses. White people receive 30% of the licenses. 10% receive the other. That's my simple formula right now, because all the young brothers and sisters that were incarcerated for selling marijuana back when it was illegal, think about the trauma they experienced while they were incarcerated. The prison industrial complex is alive and kicking. So we have to stand up, and it makes no sense that you have black folks that are making decisions also with the legalized marijuana industry, but they did not include their own people in the process. It makes no sense, so we stand unified today as all of us standing unified to take this situation on. So J.B. Pritzker needs to make an OG call the same way he signed the Criminal Justice Reform Bill. He needs to sign a Social Equity Bill 2.0 on a higher level to make sure everybody gets included the proper way. And last but not least, the main reason why I pushed for peddler's license, because I knew this was going to happen. All those young brothers need peddler's license out there where they can sell legal marijuana in their neighborhood with a cart, and they can sell marijuana at different festivals across the state of Illinois. Thank you.
Before we bring up Eric Russell, one of the organizations that you see on that letterhead, SEEN, has said that they did not agree with the language that's on the letterhead and having their name on the stationery. VITORIA, come up and then she can speak to that, because we don't want to attack the other side too much, because hopefully we can come to an agreement and these sisters can speak for themselves.
Hi, my name is VITORIA Herring. I am the Chief Strategist for Social Equity Empowerment Network, better known as SEEN. We have over 400 people within our network, and we have been lobbying and advocating for true social equity since the beginning of the CRTA has started. And we have not agreed to all of the terms that have been provided in the bill that you guys, in the one-pager that you guys have been handed out. We are frustrated. We are tired of this game that we've been playing with the governor within this space. We are here for true social equity. We showed up today so that we can present ourselves as proponents in solidarity to fix all of this debauchery that the governor has placed before us. Real equity has not been placed within our communities, within our hands, in the forefronts of Black people within this space. It is time for change. We are tired of it. We are here today in order to make sure that you guys know, number one, that we have been out here advocating for real social equity, that we have been out here lobbying for people to get licenses, to receive all of the licenses that we've applied for. We have applicants that have lost money. We are still losing money. We have put out bills. We will continue to put out bills in order to make sure that true social equity is at the helm and at the forefront.
Thank you.
All
right.
Thank you.
VITORIA, spell that before.
VITORIAHERRING.
Eric Russell, please.
No, I was just going to say that as the Vice President of the Social Equity Empowerment Network, we can appreciate everyone Black's efforts in this city that love their block and love their city and love their state to feel what this feels like. We've been criminalized, marginalized, and institutionalized by the war on drugs and the systematic racism that exists across this country and this world. Okay? The Black struggle is real. And I'm passionate about that as the granddaughter of a grandmother from the Delta of Mississippi that was Fannie Lou's best friend. This is in my blood. We started the first Black Trade Association for Black entrepreneurs to get in this billion-dollar industry. We will not allow division amongst our communities. This is not about a dog and pony show. This is about real life.
Generational wealth.
Okay? As family always will. We'll bicker, we'll argue, we'll disagree. But we love our people, and that's what this is all about, my brother. And my sister. And all of everybody standing here today. Because we love our people, and we recognize that we are behind by a system that has kept us behind, and we won't have it any longer. We need a seat at this table, and it is very important that you recognize that although as family members we may disagree, we are family members, and we've been charged by the Black legislators to have a united front and to do our best and make sure that this process is as equitable as possible, and that's what we stand on as Social Equity Empowerment Network, and that's what we intend to do. and we love everybody involved.
Let me take we gotta move. Come on, we gotta move forward. We have to move forward.
We're still collaborating together, guys.
We're still working together. But that's what I'm trying to get to him. Eric Russell, and then we're gonna get to the questions. So please, everybody, stay on the topic. Eric, and then questions.
My name is Eric Russell, the American activist, president of the Tree of Life Justice League. If we don't eat, nobody eats. If we don't eat, nobody eats. What we are witnessing in this day and age is economic apartheid. Economic apartheid. How is it that you can flood our community with drugs? How can you feed the prison industrial complex with black and brown bodies? And then when it comes time to make it right, you want us to engage in a lottery. Why must justice, why must equity always be denied to black and brown people? Why must you remove the goalposts when it comes to us? The stakes are high. You have heard the disturbing numbers and the disturbing process. But as a soldier, as our brother TYRONNE Muhammad will tell you, we will unleash our greatest power, and that is people power. We will not stand by and allow our community to languish in poverty. We want the same opportunity to have the waistline as the governor. We cannot have the waistline of the governor with the crumbs he's pushing us off of his table. Our power to the people.
That waistline comment was a classic. Everybody in Illinois deserves the opportunity to have a business if they apply it the right way and achieve a score not perfect but close enough. Be happy to take any answer the question. Tom?
You can explain the key aspects of these bills,
Well, a couple of them, without being too divisive, they want to get rid of the slave master clause going into the future. We want to get rid of the slave master clause right now. If you see something that's wrong, why kick the can down the road? That's a big one, real big one. And I know for a fact that they'll never get out of court as long as the slave master clause exists. So we're saying, if you want to go with 1B and still have the slave master clause and all the things that's wrong in there, because you got to go by the same rules, fine. We want to see Normal come up and Scene and the rest agree to round 4. Round 4 is true social equity that will not have, let me answer this question, please.
You're not answering it correctly. You're trying to speak for me.
The round 4 will be a true social equity round of 75 licenses where the people have to live within the DIA. They can't have the slave master clause. They can't have the veterans preference clauses. We would like for them to support that. We also believe that everyone should be limited to 3 chances going forward. Having somebody have 150 chances and 125 chances, why do we march on the governor? Why do we march on dispensaries saying that the white people were wrong for having all those chances, and then we're going to let somebody black or have those many chances, or somebody from California have those many chances? Limiting everybody to 3 chances, then it's more diverse. And the last thing is, they are already in Lottery 1A. They want to go into 1B. It's called greed. If you have 20 chances in 1A, keep your ass in 1A. They should not be able to go into 1B. They want to go into 1B.
You don't even tell people how they get to spend their money.
Next question. Sure. Tasha's here.
Let's be clear, okay, guys? We are still working together collaboratively, okay? We're almost there.
This guy didn't speak.
All right? We're almost there. And please note, guys. Listen, guys. Listen, there are things that we're talking about amongst together. We are trying to find a solution that can work, guys. That is equitable for everyone. That is equitable for everyone, guys. This is a collaboration, and it's a work in progress. And I don't want this, you know, to make it seem like, oh, this and this. We are working together, guys. Let's be clear about that.
Let me answer that. Tom, one reason why we went public is because they released a document that we totally disagree with. And at the head of the document, you read it, it says the social equity applicants have come together and agreed on this. And it says that LaShawn Ford has agreed on this and introducing this. And he has not. We believe that if you put it by way of disclosure, everyone wants to say smoke-filled room, but okay, we want to say let the community see. That if you put it out there in the public, and you put it out there on the media, then let the people know what's going on, and the people can then influence the program. But if the people don't know what their other people are doing, then they don't know. So we came public, airing Black Laundry out in public, so that at least the people will know what's going on behind closed doors, because these are the same people that say, oh, we should have disclosure, and we should have open government, and the people should have a right to know. But we're letting the people know what's going on. We can bring it together, but they gotta know. If you're in the lottery already, stay in 1A. You can't go in 1B. This is my press conference. If you want one, you call your own damn press conference.
When you're negotiating, who are you negotiating with? Are you negotiating with Toy Hutchinson? Are you negotiating with governor's people? Who?
We've been talking to all sides. I did talk to Toy Hutchinson. I've talked to people in the governor's office. We've talked, the blacks have talked among each other, and I've talked with the Latinos that are in court. I got, calm down. Don't do that, don't worry about him.
He keeps trying to blow the process up with this nonsense.
We are talking to everybody. Hey, Tyrone, yeah, come on, man. Don't let that, that's what they want. I think it's easy times. We got soldiers down here. So if you choose to do that, let it play. So to answer your question, we are trying to get a clean social equity lottery, and in order to do that, we have to talk. And for instance, in our bill, we're saying that the big companies can have relocation. So we're talking to them as well. They want to be able to move one of their stores, separate their medical from recreation. We agreed to it. We talked to the Latinos that are in court. I talked to the black attorneys that are in court, and the governor's office. So we've been talking to all the players in order to form a piece of legislation, as well as the legislators, the senators, the state representative LaShawn Ford, and state representative Justice Slaughter as well.
And the white laundry is the broken promise.
All right, any other questions? Now we want to thank you all for coming out. And if you need to reach me, you know how to reach me. And we appreciate good reporting. God bless. Bob, you're ready. I'm sorry. Bob, you're ready. Here. Come on, Bob. Yeah, y'all get ready. Bob, I had one comment.
Yeah, first of all, I do want to thank everybody for being out here. When we heard from Francisco, he apologized for getting emotional. I think we better understand right now that this is an emotional issue. When you are cut off from the millions of dollars, the jobs in our communities, the effect that needs to be done to restore our communities, you better get emotional. And every other speaker, from Tyrone that we heard to our sisters that we heard out here, they were emotional. Why? Because they don't trust this system. And everybody, if Governor Pritzker wants to restore trust, build our communities, start supporting what we need for everybody in our communities. Thank you.
Thank you all for your aid. Thank you all for coming.